Hey, Theme Park Tracker here with the big update on the brand new Wonder Woman coaster, the repaint progress for Tatsu, and other park happenings. Let's waste no time and get right into it. At the entrance of the park, I noticed the park is no longer giving out paper park maps. They simply direct you to scan this QR code, thus giving you a digital park map on your phone. I don't know if this is a permanent change or something to reduce the park operational cost during the off-season. Paper park maps may return during the summer. The repaint progress for Tatsu is moving at a steady pace. High winds lately have caused some of the higher points of the repaint to be temporarily paused. Half of the pretzel loop has been painted so far, and it's a huge difference compared to the old orange faded paint. Over by Roaring Rapids, the walkway down to West Coast Racers has been closed yet again while they paint the lift hill. They had plenty of tarps down below to catch any dripping paint, but not sure how effective that might be considering how windy it was at the park. We can now confirm that the staircase will be painted green, just like the supports. They even removed some railings to give the painters easier access to the tough corners of the repaint. One of the more challenging areas to paint is directly under the staircase, and they have to use a small bucket to paint underneath there. They also had the Tatsu service lift in use to help reach the difficult areas of the chain lift. Up on Samurai Summit, they have made more progress painting in front of the Sky Tower. They even took down the Samurai Summit arch, which I assume was to make room for the cranes. You could see at the bottom of the post they removed the bolts to the black and red arch. Also, some of the tables to the right have had their plastic umbrella fixtures removed, or they were just torn off by the high winds this week. Now, the big news this week is that Wonder Woman Flight of Courage, the new 2022 coaster being built at the park and opening this summer, has finally gone vertical. It's actually crazy to see how out of nowhere they decided to go vertical. It just seemed like for months this site was sitting untouched with those footers that have been finished for quite a while. At the time of this update, they had 4 posts up, which will make up the U-turn right after the mid-course brake run and lead you back to the station. With all the footers done, at this point the process is easy. The hard part has been done, and now all they have to do is lift the pieces into place and bolt them down. Along with these 4 supports, they had 2 supports laying on the ground there, which will probably be next to go up, along with the many others throughout the site. Something to mention real quick is the visible damage on the supports. Not sure if this is just debris that can be cleaned off, but it looks like the paint has been scuffed off of the supports. This is probably when they were being transported to the park and the actual construction site. Or it could have been from when they were sitting out in the parking lot for months. Hopefully this is something they can fix and it's not that serious at all. Still no visible progress on the station, and it looks similar to when it housed Green Lantern. Most of the work seems like, based on the renderings, is going to be done in front of the station, retheming it from Green Lantern to Wonder Woman. They should consider doing some theming to the rear of the station, as it's clearly visible from this side of the park. Throughout the site, we also have red supports everywhere, waiting to be put up. It's going to be a crazy next couple of weeks watching this coaster go up. The park may indeed meet its summer 2022 deadline this time around. Over in front of where you used to enter DC Universe, the red construction walls now have renderings for the coaster, and they actually put a yellow wooden trim around the posters so they won't warp in the sun. The park did a great job here with high resolution images of the coaster to get guests hyped up for the new addition. Something to notice in these renderings is some of the outdated items like Teen Titans Pizza still being there, even though it's been long demolished. The new area should look great, and hopefully they add even more trees and planters this time around than what is shown in the renderings. Not too much to see through the construction walls, other than more ground leveling. I'm curious as to how much they're going to change to this area, as it's not really visible in any of the renderings. Again, here's hoping the park adds planters with shady trees, not bushes, in the middle of the land and on the sides. The old Wonder Woman facade has been completely removed, and we still have no idea what they're going to retheme it to. Almost confident this ride is going to stay, solely for the fact that it would have been demolished by now, and they only tore down the part where the sign is. But anything can change, as we saw with the removal of the Flash. Speaking of the Flash, they have this sign by the spinner that was a part of the old ride. Could the ride be rethemed to Flash based on this finding? It could be left over from the demolition of the old ride, but who knows? It still would make sense to theme this to the Flash, but that raises the question as to what they're going to do with the old spinner ride that is currently sitting under Scream. And here's another look at the old Green Lantern station. It does look like they added the platform the track is going to go through. It looks so narrow because the ride track itself is very narrow. Aside from electrical reworkings, the station pretty much looks the same from here. And to the right, they keep trucking in the red supports from the parking lot. They definitely mean business these next few weeks, and it's going to be fun keeping up with all the progress. As mentioned earlier, here's the old Flash ride sitting under Scream. What do you think is going to happen to the ride? The fact that they haven't scrapped it gives hope that it will be relocated and possibly rethemed elsewhere in the park. This is definitely one of the more popular rides for families in the park, so it'll be sad to see it completely removed if that's what they decide to do. And good news for all you Lex Luthor Drop-a-Dune fans. The gondolas have finally returned to both sides of the station after a lengthy refurbishment. They aren't attached to the tower yet, but just seeing them on site is a good indication the ride will reopen in the coming weeks. Well, that's all for this update. Thank you so much for watching, and please comment your thoughts down below on the updates around the park. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more updates on the construction progress for Wonder Woman and other park happenings. Thanks, and see you on the next update.